Welcome to the Science of Getting Rich for Women podcast, where we unlock the secrets to wealth and prosperity. I'm your host, Jessica Marie, a radical money coach.
And I'm Amy Bell, master designer, brand consultant, and founder of White Lightning Communications.
Together, we'll dive deep into the scientific principles of wealth outlined in the Science of Getting Rich, ensuring financial abundance with mathematical certainty.
Join us for real, empowering conversations about money, wealth, and the mindset shifts needed for true prosperity.
Whether you're ready to rise up or already on your journey to riches, tune in weekly for insights that will elevate your wealth consciousness.
Hello! We have arrived, Amy. Oh my gosh, this is the final chapter of the Science of Getting Rich for Women. Just checking in with you. How are you feeling about this journey? I mean, it started 4 months ago on International Women's Day.
Yeah, I'm really excited that that we were able to do this to reinforce the messages from the book and just keep us on track and use it as our own study time to drill that in every week to ourselves and to other people that have watched it, watched the live and watched replays. So I can't believe that it's already been 4 months.
Yeah, I can't believe how fast the time.
Yeah.
You know, when you're having a ball, right? When you're having fun, and I always have fun when I'm with you, Amy.
Right back at you.
Okay. So let's have some more fun. Let's go out with a bang here, because you know this final chapter in the Science of Getting Rich really outlines some cautions, some observations, and some conclusions. And then chapter 17 is literally just like a quick summary. So we're combining chapter 16 and 17 together for one powerful conclusion. And so I think, as we were talking before, it would be a good idea to really kind of recap, you know, the most important steps. Because really, when you lay it all out, although there's 17 chapters, there's really only 3 steps. 3 steps to the science of getting rich. And I think it would be perfect to go into those 3 steps.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before we do, you know, this book, ladies, is what I call a lifer. It is not a book that you purchase, consume, and put down and forget. This is a book that you study. This is a book that you integrate, that you practice, because it's only through the integration and the practice of these principles that your goals will become realized. So don't just think that you're going to read this book once. This is a book that you will have for the rest of your life, because it's a process. It's a process. Thank you for updating that, Amy. I just realized I didn't do that. The chapter's perfect. You're so awesome behind the scenes. Okay. So step number one, form a clear and definite mental picture of the thing you want. You can't achieve something that you don't even have a clear understanding of what it is. So you have to get clear, like crystal clear. The more clear, the better, on what it is you want. What do you want? Obviously, the book goes into greater detail about that and how to do that. But you've got to understand that you've got to know what it is you want. And the way that we integrate that into our lives is by creating goals, right? So you get a clear understanding of what it is you want, You know what it looks like. You know what it feels like. You know what it tastes like and smells like. And so that then becomes a goal. I know you have a goal, Amy. I have a goal. We are both goal getters now. Like, we are constantly working towards a vision. Speaking of visions, visualizing is a powerful tool to achieving your goals.
I think we should do one of those right now. I think that people do not spend at least 10 to 15 minutes a day with their eyes closed and visualizing what their life looks like, what they want, how they feel, who they're with, what they're reading, all of that kind of stuff. And maybe people may not feel that it's an important part of the day to actually like lay on the sofa and close your eyes and just like for 15 minutes, just do that. Like, you're holding the vision for yourself. So like, we don't have 15 minutes to do it, but we can certainly do it for like a minute here and just show you like what goes through my mind when I'm doing that process. Do we have time to do that?
You know what? I think it's a great idea, Amy. And maybe what I can do is kind of walk us through the process. So
Yeah,
there's some direction and guidance.
yeah, that's
So,
what I mean. Like, we'll talk
okay,
it through. Like,
okay.
okay. So I think if you are, except if you're driving, don't do that. But if you are sitting and you're watching this, just close your eyes and take a breath in, and then just allow this message to be the beginning point of you saying, I'm going to do this every day. And then you can spend a couple minutes or 15 every day doing this. So take it away there, Jessica.
All right. So this has become second nature to me because I do this every single morning. And so in order to visualize, you need to completely relax. You've got to let go of any and all resistance, anything you're holding on to, anything you're thinking about. You've got to completely relax. And the best way to do that is to take 3 deep breaths and connect with the present moment, the now moment, the only thing that's real. And allow your imagination to take over, to see things. I know as children, we have been conditioned to believe that fantasizing is just for kids. And as adults, we've got to know how things are going to happen. But the truth is, we are the only species that actually has an imagination. And so you've got to allow yourself to fantasize. And if there were no restrictions or no limitations, what would your heart desire to do, to have, and to feel? There are absolutely no judgments, no restrictions, no limitations. Could it be that you want to experience distant lands? You want to travel and experience different cultures and different foods and see different lands? Or maybe you want to have things. You want to have this house that you've always dreamed of for your kids, where there's lots of space to run around and play, maybe have a garden, whatever it is you desire. Or maybe it's something you want to feel. You want to feel connection. You want to feel love. You want to feel in partnership with a soulmate, a beloved kindred spirit. Whatever the case may be, you've got to allow yourself to just imagine. And as you relax, images will start popping up into your mind. And these images are coming into your mind for a reason. They're yours. they belong to your soul. And so allow yourself to unfold these ideas and these images and expand on them. You might discover things you know you love and things that you weren't even aware that you desired. And allow yourself to get emotionally involved with this vision. Because as you get emotionally involved, you are now moving this idea in your conscious mind into your subconscious mind, your emotional mind. And as you begin to get emotionally involved with this dream, with this vision, it's only a matter of time before this vision moves into physical form. Getting emotionally involved means seeing in great detail the colors, the textures of your vision. Smell the candles in your new home. Taste the food in the distant lands. Feel the touch of loved ones. And as you get emotionally involved, you will know that you are emotionally involved because you will feel things. Sometimes I even feel tears coming down my cheeks because I'm in it. I'm so in it that I'm emotional. I can't believe that this dream that I am envisioning is real. It's actually real, because if you can see something in your mind's eye, it exists in one form or another. And you can move that vision into physical form through this process of visualization and integrating the principles of the science of getting rich. Now, after you've done this, take a few more deep breaths. You can open up your eyes, and the best thing to do is to jot down what you saw. Have a journal handy and just jot down the things that came up, like, ooh, I want to do this. I want to have that. I want to feel that. And then decide on the one thing that you want the most. And that becomes your guiding star. That becomes the thing you're aiming for. That's the thing you wake up every single day and get excited about. That becomes your goal. And if you follow the principles in the science of getting rich, it is an exact science and failure is impossible. That's why I'm so excited about this book. That's why I'm actually seeing and witnessing things happen in my life just in this year alone from this material. It's absolutely incredible. Amy, is there anything that you thought of maybe that I didn't say that you want to add? Or I think you're on mute.
Yes, I did have some work going on outside, and I didn't want the hammers to be destroying your visualization. Yeah, this is the joys of working from home. It's great. Woo! What I'm interested in is, if you're watching the replay or if you're on now, to type in if there was anything that came up for you, because when you type it out, when you speak it out, it helps reinforce what you just did. It's like, that really did just happen. That I just got that download. I just got that image in my mind. And now, maybe it's time to speak it out. If you don't feel comfortable putting it in the chat, that's cool, but get it into something, get it into your journal, write it on the side of the page that that you're on in this book right now and just focus in on it and see how you can refine it into a goal.
Exactly. So the next step, after we form a clear and definite image of what it is you wish, the next step is gratitude. Gratitude is everything. And gratitude, not just for what you have in the present moment, but gratitude for what is on its way. The things that you don't even know are on its way to you, but you know it's coming. You know it's coming because it has to. It's a universal law. Nothing is created or destroyed. All energy exists in one form or another. And so if you can see it in your mind's eye, it is real. If you want to manifest it or realize it into physical form, it's just a process. It's a process of transmuting this energy from formless to physical form. And so gratitude is everything. People talk a lot about gratitude. Sometimes people get annoyed by the word gratitude, like it's overused, but it's gratitude. Okay. You're thankful for the things you have. And when you are focused on the things that you have, it raises your vibration and it makes you an energetic match to receive more of the things that you're grateful for. So that's one part of it. But the other part is, once you've created that clear mental image of that which you desire, and it becomes your goal through this process of solidification and clarity, it's on its way. It is on its way. If you continually visualize it, if you continually align with it, if you continually think, feel, and behave in alignment with that vision and with that goal, it's just a matter of time before it's realized. And so when you can be grateful for the things that you can't even see, the things that are not in your physical reality yet, that is faith. That is pure faith. When you can believe in something that you cannot see, that is faith. So gratitude for the things you have and the things that are on their way. I love that part. I had never been introduced to that concept before this book.
Well, I know that people do the gratitude journals every day, and sometimes people will write down, their 5. I've done a journal for a woman who specifically did one for your gratitude. So she's left space for morning and night gratitude, and to include being grateful for what is on its way to you, which is pulled from the visualizations that you have and things that you have written as your wants. So if you've made a list of the wants, because you've been following along with these 17 chapters that we've been talking about, one of them was create, what do you want? And when you look at that list, then can you be grateful for those wants? That's how we're going to bring them into the present moment, by focusing on that and making sure that you are feeling it. To be grateful for it, you can't just say I'm grateful for this. You have to actually feel the gratitude, feel the love, feel the happiness, feel the joy of getting those things that you want, or being that person that you want to become, and writing in the gratitude journal for that. Maybe there's just a gratitude journal for what's on its way. What
a great idea. Yeah. Like an iteration of it, right? Because I know the gratitude journals are have always been really popular, and they're a great tool. But yeah, being grateful for what is on its way. And here's the thing. Interestingly, most people don't have goals. This is a fact. Most people don't have goals. And so if you don't have a goal, then how are you to be grateful for something that's on its way when you're not focused on something that you're moving towards. So it's really important to have a goal. And the object of goals, of course, is not to get things, but it's to grow in our conscious awareness of ourselves. It's to discover something within us that we haven't even tapped into yet. And so goals are so incredibly important. I'm going to be talking about goals a lot for the rest of this month, and probably for the rest of my life, because really it's how we ascend into greater levels of wealth and prosperity. So yeah, gratitude. Gratitude is a big one. And number 3, I love it. You put that such big bullet. If you are listening on the podcast, and you ever want to watch these beautiful live videos of me and Amy Bell actually having a conversation on camera, then you can go to any one of our feeds and check this out. Or I think LinkedIn as well. But Amy has in big letters on the screen, number 3, take action. This is, all 3 of these final keys have been reduced to the most potent, powerful essence. You've got to act, ladies. You've got to do. You've got to decide. You've got to move. So many times I talk to women and they want things. You know, they want to make more money. They want a bigger house. They want to move. They want to start a business. They want to leave their job. They want to do all these things. But when it comes to actually taking action and doing the thing that's going to lead to the result, oftentimes we get stuck. Analysis paralysis, perfectionism, overthinking. This is just fear. We've got to move past the fear if we're going to achieve anything great.
I think the take action part is people get really tied up in like glitching out because they have so many things they need to follow. Like when you think about doing a workshop, there's like a whole list of stuff that has to go on with doing the workshop. Or if you want to start a business, there's a whole process to starting a business. But I think action, my company is called White Lightning Communications, and I move fast all the time. So I usually take the action and then think about what the heck's going on later. And that's how I've always done things. I think it's better to take action than not. And you can perfect things as you go. So a lot of women I know in particular are perfectionists, and they don't want to go out there without the full thing done and dusted, right? Like you need to make sure all of your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted and everything is perfect. Yet we can't anticipate what our clients want until we actually speak to the clients, until we tell them, hey, here's what I'm doing next. And this is what it's kind of about. And then you get them interested, and then you move into the course creation if that's a process you want to do. You have to find out what they want before you can actually create the course. But some people think you got to create the whole thing before you can actually start anything, right? So I say, put something out in the world that allows you to take the action. I'm doing this thing on this day. Come join me. Of course, you've got like some, proper wordage, but I'm dumbing this down a little bit, and just go do it. And then take the action to get people, send your message out. And I was doing a workshop every Wednesday. That was decided in about 10 minutes because I'm like, how am I going to reach my people? Let's do a workshop. And it does not take any more thought than creating a Zoom link, putting it out on Facebook, sending it to people in your DMs, emailing it to your people, even if it's friends and family at the beginning, and just talk. Just Start talking. Start telling people what you're doing. You cannot scream inside of your cave right now, like in your home. If I yell right now, nobody driving by is going to hear me. Now, if I go stand on my deck and start waving a sign, AKA go on social or send out some messages, then they're going to see it. And they'll be like, what's that crazy girl doing on the deck? Maybe I need to stop and see what she's doing. That's the scroll. You've got to do something, right? So scream it. Scream it. Once it's in your mind, once it's a want, you've got the feelings, just put it out there and don't be afraid to do it.
Yeah, I used to be one of those people, and it was no fun. It was hard, and it took a lot of effort. And then my new motto is let it be fun, let it be easy. Let it be easy, let it be fun. It gets to be easy and it gets to be fun. It's us who gets in our own way and our own minds about, it has to be perfect because we're judging ourselves and we're, fearful of other people judging us. When if you get out of your egotistical mind thinking just about yourself and you realize that it's not about you, it's about the other people that you get to serve, that you get to help, it completely changes the energy there. And one other thing I wanted to touch on when it comes to taking action, sometimes action is about receiving. Oftentimes you have put into motion opportunities, connections, collaborations, ideas that come to you as a result of you thinking about certain things over time. And then they come to you in the form of an opportunity or a gift, and you don't know how to receive it. You don't know how to allow it. And so you reject it, you deny it because you think, that's what a good woman does. A humble woman, says no, whether it's a compliment or a gift or anything. I've got so many examples that I can share with this, but as women, we've got to become better receivers. And that in part is acting. It's taking action. So when someone says something to you or gives you something or offers you an opportunity, if it feels aligned, and your intuition always comes in first, if you get excited, if you come alive, that is connected to your intuition. That is what's guiding you. Allow it in. Say yes, turn up, do the thing. It's only fear that's going to come in later and instill doubt and uncertainty. But the truth is, you've got to be able to receive if you want to become rich, if you want to become wealthy, if you want to receive more money, you've got to be able to receive a compliment.
You look fabulous today.
Thank you.
Oh, you look fabulous today. Just say thank you.
Thank you. Look at the beautiful pinky coral we're wearing today. There's lots of like this. Amy is an expert in color mirrors and color psychology, and pink is all about love and money, and
that it is.
Coral is all about expansion, and that's a whole nother rabbit hole we could go down. But for the purposes of this conversation, pay attention, ladies, to your life and practice becoming a better receiver. It'll start with a compliment, and then it will become something bigger. And then the next thing you know, it'll snowball into this grand opportunity. Because here's the thing, the universe only gives you what you are able to allow. And if you say, I want to become rich, I want more money, well, the universe is going to give you an opportunity to practice that. And at first it's going to be really small. It will be like a compliment. And if you cannot receive, the compliment, even though you said, I want to receive more money. I want to become rich. You can't receive a compliment. You're not going to receive anything bigger. You're going to keep getting that same opportunity until you've mastered it. And then you're on to bigger and grander things. That's the way it works. It's the law of the universe.
What I would really love is, do you have the page open for the verse that's at the end of every chapter? Because the summary is what we've kind of gone through here. Take action, be in gratitude, form a clear and definite image of what you want. And I really found that this credence, or this verse that is said pretty much at the end of every chapter of this book, brings it all back home and summarizes it really beautifully. And since we're on the last edition of this season, we'll call it the season, before the summer break, I think it would be really great to just read that over, especially since you have such a beautiful voice, and put all that energy into it.
I would love to do that. I have it open here, and then I know he adds a little bit later on down the book, but I do have the creed open here. And it goes like this: there is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. A thought in this substance produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. Woman can form things in her thought, and by impressing her thought upon formless substance, can cause the thing she thinks about to be created.
Yeah, you know, you could just study that 3 paragraphs for an entire year, an entire lifetime, and just have it, like, every time you read it, you would get something else out of it.
That creed that has become ingrained in our minds, because we've said it so many times, is so abstract that most people, including myself, don't even understand it the first time they read it. It's so abstract. What are you talking about? Formless substance that permeates and penetrates the interspaces of the universe. What do you mean that I can think a thought and then impress that thought onto this formless substance that is everywhere, and I can literally create that thing? Like, that is so abstract that it can be difficult to grasp and to understand. That's why this book is a study book. That's why this book is inside the Money Mind Mastermind. We have been reading one chapter every day for a single week before we even dare go on to another chapter, because there's so much to digest and to understand. And now I get it. Now I get it. Now I understand how powerful my mind is, and your mind is, when you embody the truth that your mind is so powerful. It can literally cause the formation of the things you think about over time. You will get so excited, because not only will you want to create new and more exciting things, but you're going to want to share it with your loved ones, because if this can happen for you, then you want to share it with those you love. This is a classic book, 114 years ago. This book was written in 1910 by Mr. Wallace D. Wattles. And I am truly honored and grateful that this idea came through me and through you, Amy, with this creation of this updated version for women, so that we can read this book now, we can feel it. We can embody its wisdom with language that speaks directly to our souls as women. This has been such an honor to do this experience with you, Amy, and to share it with you, ladies of the world. I hope you got value from this series of diving into each of the chapters. If you ever have any questions or feedback, if you want to go deeper, connect with us on Facebook. We are always just a click away. Right, Amy?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been educational for me. It's been like a reminder every week to stay on track and not deviate from the plan, because keeping control of this noggin is like the hardest job. Keeping it on track, keeping it from, getting distracted, keeping it on task. It's like, and for everyone, like the whole notion of believing in what is real, which is not necessarily the same thing as what's going on in your world in the moment. You gotta like constantly have that talk until it becomes natural. But I think everyone would agree that keeping your mind focused is a difficult task, especially with all of the distractions that we have available to us right now on the phone, and especially on the phone. So I think this has been a great, what do you call it? Like a habit to form. Like every Friday we're doing this thing. And so it's a good habit. It's a study habit. It's keeping me on track anyway. And I hope that for the ones who are listening to this on live or on the replay, that it's become a habit for you. And just because we're going away for the summer doesn't mean that you should stop this study process. Like maybe from 11 till 11:30 every Friday, you rewatch one of these episodes, and then you get your book out, and then you start to focus in on something that resonates with you.
It sounds like a great idea. No matter what, the entire universe is supporting you. You are always being guided. You are always being held. Life gets to be whatever you make of it. And I just want to say thank you for tuning in and being part of this incredible creation that we have put out in the world. It's been wonderful. Thank you so much, Amy, for joining me on this adventure.
Thanks, Jessica. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you all for joining us today on the Science of Getting Rich for Women podcast. Your presence means the world to us.
Before you go, we have a special request. If you found today's episode enlightening, please take a moment to leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback helps us reach more incredible listeners like yourself.
And don't forget to share this episode with your friends and family who are ready to rise to new levels of prosperity.
Before we sign off, remember to connect with us on Facebook and get yourself a copy of The Science of Getting Rich for Women on Amazon.
As we close out today's episode, remember how powerful you are. Hold strong with faith and purpose that you do get what you want, and watch as the universe conspires to fulfill your dreams.